But we just tried to design.
Yeah, well,
We built, it was in the design. Yeah. So,
You haven't talked budget.
how you doing over there, Bob?
I'm in an urban area. Science is one of the areas that they don't want to do. So doing it this way will help them because it's somewhat performing. This is what they like to do. So they're actually going to be performing a task instead of just sitting down being task oriented. They're actually going to participate.
There's a weak joint right there.
This whole process of inquiry learning is something I think every teacher should be involved in. Because these kids today do not learn by sitting in seats being lectured to. They have to be involved and they have to have hands-on.
Timers ready? The S and P waves ready? Yeah. Go.
I have everyone laughing. I'm not really big on earth science, but this has been an invaluable lesson for me. It's challenging to me because it's not my favorite type of science. But I've seen some things and learned some things here that have really piqued my interest, and I think I'm going to be better at teaching plate tectonics and earth resources to my students from what I've learned here.
So I think such a hands-on thing, instead of sitting at a desk reading a book, working on a worksheet and handing it in, taking a test, and it's done with and we move on to something else. This being them being involved with it hands-on, I think is going to be a long-term learning situation for them. Well, we're developing the problem. We have this problem, the amount of money it's going to cost to remove the trash. But now the kids are going to have to decide with the problem, how can we do this? Is it going to be feasible to recycle some of these items? Are we just going to toss the trash? Is it going to cost more to just toss the trash? Or is it going to be feasible to maybe buy reusable items in the lunchroom? Inevitable there's going to be trash that's going to have to go to a landfill, but can we recycle some of this? Can we compost some of it? So we're going to try to do an analysis on the cost of these items.
Well, I'm going to have the children learn from our content what they need to know about erosion and weathering and dunes. They'll have to do some research on that and on Michigan City's dunes, and then try to discover what was the reason that they restricted it, as well as how we impact it, or how people and the weather impacts the dune. And then in conclusion, they are to present to the National Lakeshore their findings and possibly a solution to the problem, as well as the possibility of reopening that to the public.
We're going to research about earthquakes, and even though we're not really sitting on a fault zone in northwest Indiana, but depending on, because we're sitting on sand, the shaking effect can very well affect our area. So that is what we're working on, and when we find out all our data and collect all our data, we're going to go to the school board and present it to the school board.
Move back and forth on the ground, and we often do something where we'll set our building on a bunch of glass beads. So we'll put
we have learned the content behind physical units and earth science units. So with that knowledge, we now are developing actual usable units for young people.
I really enjoyed getting away from what I'm used to, being in a setting that is not so much isolated, but focused on the things that we needed to learn here. And I think it helped tremendously by being away. It's very relaxed, it's very casual, but it's still intense. And that makes a difference. I really enjoyed this professional development experience.
Well, I didn't come in very confident. I didn't feel that I was able to really produce the amount. I knew there was a lot of work in this. I knew that there was a lot of detailed planning, and I didn't have confidence in myself to think that I could do it. But after they presented this, they told me what to do. They showed me what to do, and in the afternoon they said, do it. I felt a lot better.
It's been eye-opening. Last night I was so excited after that field trip to go see the fault I couldn't sleep. I was up to 2:30, and I even called my husband late at night and said, look, let me tell you about those rocks we see on the way to Tennessee that we never looked at before. So it's been real eye-opening. It's been inspiring, and the speakers they brought in to talk with us every day have really been great.
Come on, it's shaking a little bit.
It is really giving me a wealth of information. I'm getting tons of information. They're giving me, I got a rock collection. We went on a field trip yesterday. We saw fault zones. So we had I've had a good experience.